Back in Downing Street, but this not a time for celebration.
I'm sorry I've been away from my desk for much longer than I would have liked.
After 3 weeks battling his personal coronavirus crisis, back to tackling the country's.
Every day, I know that this virus brings new sadness and mourning to households across the land. And it is still true that this is the biggest single challenge this country has faced since the war. And yet it is also true that we are making progress and real signs now that we are passing through the peak.
He knows how hard it's been getting to this point.
If this virus were a physical assailant, an unexpected and invisible mugger, which I can tell you from personal experience it is, then this is the moment when we have begun together to wrestle it to the floor. This is the moment of opportunity. It is also the moment of maximum risk, because I know there will be many people looking now at our apparent success and beginning to wonder whether now is the time to go easy on those social distancing measures.
Under pressure from some to relax lockdown for the economy's sake, but resisting for now.
And so, yes, I entirely share your urgency. It's the government's urgency. And yet we must also recognise the risk of a second spike, because that would mean not only a new wave of death and disease, but also an economic disaster. I refuse to throw away all the effort and the sacrifice of the British people, and I ask you to contain your impatience, because I believe we are coming now to the end of the first phase of this conflict.
The second phase will require grit too.
If we can show the same spirit of unity and determination as we have all shown in the past 6 weeks, then I have absolutely no doubt that we will beat it together. We will come through this all the faster, and the United Kingdom will emerge stronger than ever before.
The Prime Minister's return to work is undoubtedly a moment of success in this grim coronavirus crisis. He has survived, but sadly tens of thousands have not. We are passing through the peak, and everyone now is counting the cost, some much more than others. Everyone wants to move on, but the Prime Minister marked his return to work by managing those lockdown expectations. The government knows it needs to keep the public with them. This, a new initiative at the Daily News Conference.
We'll take our first questions from a member of the public. This is going to become a regular feature of these briefings. The questions are selected by an independent polling organisation. And now we're going to go to the first question, which is from Lynn in Skipton. And I'm going to read out the question, and I'm reading it for the first time, and then we will endeavour to answer it. I'm missing my grandchildren so much. Please, can you let me know if after the 5 criteria are met, is being able to hug our closest family one of the first steps out of lockdown?
We all know how hard this is. My own mother lives hundreds of miles away, and I know she's wondering when she'll be seeing me and her grandchildren again. This is really tough, but as the Secretary of State has said, it is bearing fruit in that we are seeing reduction in the number of hospital admissions, we're seeing a reduction in the number of deaths.
And other very difficult questions too, such as why the UK death rate has far exceeded initial expectations.
The number will definitely exceed 20,000. We need to view this epidemic over the long run, and this has got a very long way to run. I'm really cautious about putting out, and I've said this again repeatedly, these kind of absolute numbers, because this could go in a lot of different ways over the next many months until such time as we have a clear exit.
Into our 6th week of lockdown, normal life feels a world away, and the PM guarded today about what comes next. But he knows he'll have to give the public more in the coming days. And he knows too, there are no easy answers. Beth Rigby, Sky News, Westminster.